5.3, multiply polynomials. Negative 3x squared times 5x to the fourth. Here we're going to multiply our coefficients. That's not a 0.5, just a regular 5. I guess that's a dot, but a point. Here we go. And then, what rule would we have to use if we have x squared times x to the fourth? Right, product. Remember, we add the exponents. So we'll have negative 15x to the 6. We'll use our distributing again here. And so 5x is going to be multiplied times x and the plus 2. So we'll have 5x squared plus 10x. Then remember, well, let's see. No, not remember. This is where it would come in with this. X plus 2 times x minus 8. We're going to take everything in the first binomial and multiply it times everything in the second binomial. So x times x, and then x times negative 8. Then we have to do the 2 times everything. So plus 2x minus 16. Then notice that these are like terms. So we go ahead and combine them. We have a way to remember this when we multiply two binomials. It's called FOIL. And so what it's talking about is we take the first, and we're looking at these two, the first in each group, and we multiply those. And then we take what's on the outside of the whole thing and multiply it. And then we take what's on the inside of the whole thing and multiply it. And then we do what's last, here and here. So it's first, outside or outer, inside or inner, and then last. And so some people, you'll hear them say they're going to FOIL it. But it's the same thing as doing the first thing times everything and the second term times everything. Now remember, the main thing about exponents is that they affect what they touch, and so we're touching the parentheses, so everything in here gets multiplied twice. So this does not equal x squared plus 25. It's not that simple. We have to rewrite this first. So we'd have x minus 5 times x minus 5. Then we will take and multiply here and here, and then we'll do the negative 5 times everything. So x times x, x times a negative 5, then this negative 5 times x, and then negative 5 times negative 5. And then when we combine like terms, you see we get a middle term. We do have the x squared and the plus 25 like we had up here, but we're missing that middle term. So it's not just as simple as doing that. You've got to rewrite it. Alright, so let's look at some more multiplication. here we have x minus 2, and all of that's multiplied times x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now you've got a couple of choices here. You can multiply side to side, and so I'm going to do that first. Or you can go down like you would with regular multiplication, and we'll see how that works also. So the first one I'm going to take and multiply here, here, and here. And then I'll come through and multiply the negative 2 times everything. So minus 2x squared minus 6x minus 4. Come through and combine like terms. You've got some x squares. And then we've got x's. So we've got x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4. Now we can also do this going down the page, just as you would if you had 132 times 12. And you would multiply 2 times everything. Then you come through and do 10, so you'd have to put something there, and then 1, and then you would end up adding. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to take and multiply this negative 2 times everything on top. So we'll have negative 4, negative 6x, negative 2x squared. Then we'll multiply the x times everything. And it also, just like here, we're going to leave something here. Nothing's going to go there, because 2 times x will give us a plus 2x, and we want these like terms to line up. And then 3x times x, and that's positive. And then x times x squared. Then we add straight down. And you see we're going to get the same answer. So, if we have x plus 5 cubed, this does not equal x cubed plus 125. We have to rewrite it also. X plus 5 3 times. And we can take the first two binomials and multiply them. Can FOIL them if you want. X times x, x times 5, 5 times x, 5 times 5. Combine the middle terms. And now we're going to do what we just saw here, where we had a trinomial times a binomial. And so again, you can do it side to side, or you can come over and rewrite it. I'm just going to do mine side to side, and I'm just going to leave it like it is. So I'm going to go this direction with it this time. So I'd have x cubed plus 10x squared plus 25x, and then I'll come through and do the 5 times everything. So 5x squared plus 50x plus 125, and we'll come through and put together like terms. To have x cubed plus 15x squared plus 75x plus 125. You've got to rewrite this thing. That's the important thing here. If you don't rewrite it, you come up with something like this. It's way off. There's just not a shortcut here. Let's let you guys do some practice. Alright, now don't let this fraction scare you. You know how to do this. Alright, there's 6 problems to practice on. So, pause and get busy. Okay, so there's research about music. We'll see. I've got Beethoven in the background. See if we can hear it as we practice. Alright, so here I've got 1/5 times 20 over 1, and 1/5 times 10 over 1, and 1/5 times 4 over 1. So that's 4x to the 4th minus, that's 2x cubed plus 4/5 x squared. Alright, x squared minus 1/5 x here. That's where I got that from. Plus 1/2 x minus, multiply those two. Now these are like terms because they have the same variable, but I'm adding fractions, so I need a common denominator. I'm going to use 10. We're going to end up with x squared minus 2/10 x plus 5/10 x. Didn't leave quite enough room here for the answer. So let me see. I'm going to move this down a bit. Go ahead and erase this pause. Alright, so now it's x squared plus 3/10 x minus 1/10. Write it twice and FOIL it. Combine like terms. Here. Alright, so let's go ahead and check these answers. Before I move on, because I'm going to have to scoot this down to give me enough space to write. Remember, I've got to write it 3 times. FOIL this. Then I'm going to take and multiply it by that. And then I'm just going to move back and forth. So it's going to be x times the x squared minus 6x times x plus 9 times x minus 3x squared. Then here that's going to be a plus 18x, and that's a minus 27. There's some x squares, some x's. That's 27x. Okay, be careful with those minuses. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes in there. And then here, again, to FOIL it, you've got two binomials, so x times everything, and then negative 10 times everything. And then that cancels. And that should be a square. All right, so that's all there is for 5.3. Send me an email if you have questions.